Oh, hello, integrals and differentials. It's Dolb. Welcome back to my kitchen, and today I'll be serving you a guide on energy acceleration. Why is it important for deck building? Because this is how you win. This is how you charge your Pokemon sooner than your opponent or keep up with them in a more higher tier game. So let's get started. I'm gonna close this window and we're gonna talk about the oldest and the card that you already have. Now, double colorless energy counts as two energies, but not of any particular element. And say that you have a Sceptile, you can, instead of charging 3 energies for all the attack, you just have 1 double colors and 1 grass energy. This allows you to attack turn sooner and hit faster, destroy your opponent, all that. And I've used it in most of my deck videos, even the last 2 ones. So that's just an example of how energy acceleration works. Moving on, let's talk about more type specifics. We have double dragon energy. Hey, same thing, right? Except this time it counts as energies of every single type. Only works in dragon Pokemon though, so that kind of sucks. Luckily, they're really good dragon Pokemons. But before that, moving to talk about them, I gotta talk about Mega Turbo. You'll see why. I'm building towards a certain Pokemon. Mega Turbo only works in Mega Pokemon, which has to Mega Evolve. There has to be an energy in the discard pile, and it has to be a basic Pokemon. So this thing has a lot more requirements than it looks. But hey, you skip a turn. Mega Pokemon have very awesome attacks, so that's why there's so many gates on it. And we're gonna go towards one of those dragon Pokemons now. Reshiram, an energy accelerator. If it's in your active slot, you can attach a fire energy, only a fire energy, only onto your bench Pokemon, and it has to be a dragon. Oh, and Reshiram has to be in front. Yep, steep requirement, but still, there's very big potential payoff because the guy who gets all this is Mega Rayquaza. Use your Mega Turbo, use your Reshiram, use double dragon energies, and you can have a 300 damage attack. You see, without energy acceleration, this thing wouldn't even be possible. So that's why it's important. Now, there is another dragon Pokemon. This one's a bit rare. I haven't seen it in a while, but not like energy acceleration where you charge up quicker. It conserves energy by taking them off bench Pokemon which aren't using those energies. So, in a way, it accomplishes the same thing. Moves energy off your bench Pokemon onto Dragonite. Dragonite attacks in 1 turn. So, pretty much the same thing, right? Now, moving on to the next, let's see. We have Dark Pokemon next. We have Veltal, and Veltal has to be your active. It has to consume your attack. The energy has to be a dark type and in your discard pile. It's like, what? So you're sacrificing momentum, but whatever's on your bench is gonna get a nice payoff. Now, there is a Hydreigon which does this a little better. You have to evolve it from stage 2, so it has to go from Dino, Zweilous, and finally, it only works in dark energies and the active Pokemon, not your bench Pokemon, which it's okay. You saw it in my Charizard video. It actually works out pretty well. Now, who would you like to charge it up for? Malamar. All the more energies, the stronger it gets, and it has some very, very insane potential. This is the dark Pokemon you want to charge up. Now, moving on to fairy types, we have the deer, Xerneas. And Xerneas is a lot better than Veltal because Geomancy, a lot less deeper requirements. The energy comes from your deck. You start off with more energies in your deck anyway, so it's a lot better, and you can charge 2 Pokemon instead of 1. So Veltal, yeah, this guy, he's like, I'm the man for fairy decks. Now you have Aromatisse. You can move fairy energies wherever you like. You're like, no, that's not energy solution, it's energy conservation. You just move them off your bench Pokemon and to your active, and that allows the active to attack sooner. You attack sooner. That's just the same thing, right? Yeah. So we have Togekiss next. Togekiss is a fairy Pokemon, but actually can work with any other energy type. So Delta Evolution, you could skip a turn, evolve it sooner than it normally would. And Cyrene Grace works on basic energies only. Works on the next 8 cards of your deck. So you have to be in your deck, which of course you start off energies in your deck, but you can put them onto pretty much any way you like on your Pokemon. very powerful if everything lines up, but it can be finicky because you don't know what the next 8 cards in your deck are. Depends how good of a shuffler you are. So I used it a couple of times in my video. In fact, Rayquaza really blew it out there with this one. It's definitely coming back soon. So we're gonna move on to fighting Pokemon. This thing, it has the Veltal thing again. Only has to be your active Pokemon, has to do a very low bound damage, and only works with cards in discard pile. This time at least it doesn't have to be dark. But yeah, this is kind of like the only energy acceleration fighting has. But fighting really has its own form, unique way to charge your Pokemon, and that is damage acceleration. So we have Machamp. All your fighting Pokemon do 20 more damage when this thing is somewhere on your side of the field, and they all stack. So 4 of these guys, 80 damage. So the Landorus is like, yes, Shadow Power, 100 damage. And that's not all. We have the Fighting Stadium, and if this thing's out, your fighting Pokemon deal 20 more damage to EX Pokemon. EX Pokemons are everywhere because they're so strong. So yeah, it's gonna work. So 120 damage for that Landorus, and we can stack it with Muscle Band. Okay, 140 damage an item, and we can stack it with Strong Energies. Another 80 damage if you stack all of them. So yeah, this thing can knock out an EX Pokemon now. Now you can see I'm not charging up energies faster, I'm just boosting up low energy attacks, and that's, hey, same thing. So fighting Pokemon, fighting acceleration. That might make sense. Now for fire Pokemon, this thing is actually not a form of acceleration. It's what energies are. Once energies, I did this a little out of order. Now Wonder Flare, the more energies your opponent has in their hand, the more damage it does. And with the Muscle Band, just 2 energies is enough to knock out the EX Pokemon. So this is a very nice card to benefit from energy acceleration, which is why Lucario is there, but I skipped that. Did this guy totally wrong. So what is actually fire energy acceleration? It's the Blacksmith. And the Blacksmith consumes your supporter, so you don't have to burn an attack like that terrible Veltal or Landorus. Fire energies have to be in your discard, and there are nice ways to get them there, like say maybe a Ultra Ball. So just discard them from your hand, get a nice Pokemon, the same deal, and or Battle Compressor. Is this even here? Yes, Battle Compressor. Discard fire energies from your deck, or maybe a Scorched Earth Stadium. Just get the fire energies in the discard, and Blacksmith will take care of it. 2 energies straight onto any of your fire Pokemon. Only fire Pokemon, only fire energies, which is why you don't really see it much outside. Fire attacks. Now we have Volcarona, not really a fire energy accelerator, but a every energy accelerator. You've seen this for Giratina and Mega Gengar, many others. It has to be a stage 2, so you have to evolve it, and it's quite strong because it pulls out the Pokemon straight from the deck and the energy straight from your deck as well, and accomplish, like, you'll run out of all the energy cards in your deck because it's awesome. It's really awesome. It's just a little bit tough to set up, and sometimes you may not even be able to use it. So that's the gate. But definitely worth it. Now, moving on to grass Pokemon, and hey, they're both lizards, almost the same type of lizards. We have Mega Sceptile. It's a Mega Pokemon with a really weak attack, and it is, well, supportive type mechanics. You can attach 2 grass energies from your hand straight onto your bench Pokemon. So that's like 2 extra energies per turn, as long as you Mega Evolve Sceptile and be okay with just 100 damage. It's Mega Pokemon. You should do more Mega damage. Sceptile, yeah. Sceptile's like, yeah, whatever. Now the other Pokemon is Sceptile. It's like, oh, aren't you the same Pokemon? You look the same there. Now, Nurture and Heal is a Pokemon power. You can use it from the bench, unlike Mega Sceptile and Delta, who has a Consume attack. Yeah, and it's just 1 energy. It heals kind of like the Mega Sceptile does. Not the full health, but just 30 damage. But that energy acceleration is potent. 1 extra energy per turn, 1 turn sooner you can attack, and that is grass acceleration. Now, moving on to electric, we have Manectric, and he's like Mega Sceptile and the same thing. Have to Mega Evolve him, have to charge him up, but hey, only 2 energies. And this time the energies have to be in your discard. You know, it's easier to get into your hand because you draw cards every turn. This time they have to be in your discard, which can make this a little iffy. So get those Ultra Balls, get those Battle Compressors, and you have a nice Pokemon. Free Retreat, very fast, awesome, powerful card. And we have Electros. You've probably never seen this card because it's not very popular, but it's energy conservation this time. You move energies off the bench Pokemon that you're not using if they're there, and they go straight to the active, and the active Pokemon attacks sooner. Can be any energy type. Now I know next expansions there's something gonna completely replace this, but for now it's there. And maybe you might get a deck video Electros. Now moving on to another type. Metal Energy, Brazong. You have to evolve it, which makes it a little slow, and the energies have to be in this card. I don't like this card mechanics. You can probably tell now, right? Yeah. Oh, and it has to be on the bench Pokemon only, which doesn't make sense because the active Pokemon is where you want the energies, and this is only bench. So there you have to have some kind of switch involved. And otherwise, it works pretty well. Good Pokemon to charge it up with. Aegislash. Swap those Aegislashes around. You're gonna have an excellent time. More energy is an Aegislash, more damage, awesome, and special energies cards won't work on it. By the way, double colors energy everywhere, so this is an excellent steel card if you're into steel types. Psychic Pokemons. We're almost done, guys. Psychic Pokemon. This is a nice card to charge up with, which is why we're not going to talk about it and move on to the real energy acceleration. Dimension Valley. All your Psychic Pokemon cost, or their attacks cost 1 color's energy less. It's a stadium. It's persistent and works on pretty much all the Pokemon that you have on the field, provided this thing's up and they don't discard it. But anyway, it's pretty awesome. Now, good Pokemon to charge it up with, we have Toxicroak. And you're like, what? I've never seen this card. This card sucks. Why are you bringing this up? Because it's just a good example, guys. It's a good example. Look at that. Double colors energy acceleration. 1 energy with the Dimension Valley. You can use triple poison. And this pretty much kills Pokemons in 2 turns if you do the math. And smash, uppercut. You can power it up with Dimension Valley. And it pretty much 2-shots Pokemon with a Muscle Band. But this is Psychic Pokemon don't have anything awesome anymore. Mewtwo, where are you? Mewtwo's coming back. So this is why this thing is the example, not Gengar. Who cares about Gengar? Now, we have Golbats and we have Crobats. When they evolve, they do 20 damage to whatever you like. And you're like, this is not damage acceleration, Donald. But hey, this is like the fighting acceleration. Damage, more damage counts too. And you can evolve these at the same time, all 4 of them at once. And that's why they're sort of like the fighting acceleration, except you can use them in pretty much every deck. They're not as good though, so well, at least you can put them damage counters or whatever you like. Now moving on to water. Water lost Blastoise. Blastoise was so excellent, but Lapras is all you got now. Lapras it's got the Veltoprom. It's got the Veltoprom where you have to consume a 0 damage attack, but and you have to flip coins. So that could be all tails. But if they're all heads, you can attach up to 3 water energies onto your bench Pokemon any way you like. So you can like supercharge up something if it works this out. Coin flips, discard, yeah. Wasted attack, it could be something 100 damage. But hey, they also have their damage acceleration. Through Greninja, you have to discard a water energy for 3 damage counters, but at least you can put on whatever you like. So water Pokemon not getting water types not getting awesome ones now. We have Milotic. You knock this Pokemon out, your opponent chooses a prize card. Pretty dangerous if they have a town map, which is coming back soon. And you get to attach 3 basic energies onto your discard pile to only 1 of your Pokemon. Cannot be an EX Pokemon. You're like, what? EX Pokemons are the strongest Pokemon in the game. Why? That's why you don't even see Milotic much often. Now, if you really wanted to, there's Swampert. Swampert has his own form of energy acceleration. It only works on itself, but hey, you can attach up 2 energies on it, but you must be using Swampert. So, all these water Pokemons, they have some weird gates. They're not even awesome. I was about to say that. Seismitoad EX. This was a nice card. This is just an example of something you could charge it up with if you're not using Milotic. Maybe with the Lapras, it might pull it off. You know, Swampert. Okay, water Pokemon is just a little terrible right now. I know, guys. And oh my god, we just nearly finished it. So, what else am I skipping? I'm skipping... XP share. Very not so popular, but it actually counts because this is energy conservation where your active Pokemon goes down, so it has to die in a sense, knock out, not die, but you take one of those basic energies and put it on whoever's wearing the XP share. Nobody ever does this because they're better items, but it counts. I know you probably think that I skipped other cards too, but I don't really want to talk about it. They're a little bit tougher to pull off. Blaziken, no. Flygon, Stage 2, no. They all have the Ultra problem. You probably know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, so leave it at that. We just skimmed over all forms of, well, the ones I can think of, energy accelerations and XY standards. So now you can go and, if you have these cards, try to build a deck of your own with some of the cards I talked about. Find a nice Pokemon to charge up with, and hey, you might end up with a really cool deck. So if you listened through all that, awesome, thank you very much. So I have another deck video coming for you soon. It's gonna be almost energy acceleration, something a little bit different though, so that is coming Wednesday. Until then, I'll see you next time, Integrals and Differentials. Bye bye.